There are a lot of anime enjoyers out there and a big desire for an MMORPG with true anime graphics, which is the reason why Blue Protocol has garnered so much hype. Unfortunately for Blue Protocol, however, after long delays, the game finally launched in Japan and it absolutely hard flopped. As someone that has pumped a lot of hours into the original Blue Protocol during the Japanese launch, I'm going to tell you exactly why it really flopped point blank and what this new version, Star Resonance, has become. So why did BP flop in the first place? One, the game content at endgame was garbage. Dungeons, world bosses, all the content you experience at the endgame was just really bad. Poorly designed, uninspiring, the opposite of holy shit, this dungeon is insane. Two, there was no purpose for even grinding at the end game. There was no pinnacle fight, there was no legit meaningful leaderboard, there was nothing. Three, the social aspects and cosmetics were also non-existent and just bad. No real social content, and the only decent looking cosmetics, and there weren't many of them, were locked behind a gacha paywall. Everything else about the game wasn't particularly bad, it was just mid at best, including the combat. Not terrible, but not amazing. Blue Protocol was very clearly carried by the hope of it being good because it was the only true anime MMORPG on the market. Anyone that tells you it flopped because they waited too long to launch it globally has no idea what they're talking about. The game flopped because it was bad, and thank God the global audience didn't have to experience it because it certainly would have affected Star Resonance in a negative way. Fast forward to 2025. After the Chinese juggernaut Tencent purchases the rights to the game, they redo Blue Protocol completely, turn it into a cross-platform PC and mobile game, then launch it in China. Before immediately dismissing it due to the mobile platform it can be played on, I can say that it is more a PC-focused game with the ability to play on a mobile device. Now, say this with confidence because I have now experienced the game for myself, as the Chinese official launch just happened on the 17th of July. The rumors were that Tencent completely redid the game and that Blue Protocol was back as Star Resonance. You're about to see my first impressions, first early look at the game, and I have continued to play beyond the highlights that you're about to see. I give a review at the very end of the segment, but a quick breakdown would be that, yes, Tencent did change a lot. The game at a core is still Blue Protocol, but there for sure is some of that Chinese Genshin-like gacha game influence. The combat went from slower, more punishing, more deliberate to a much faster pace, spammier feel that's more in line with those Genshin-like games. The world has been expanded to feel a bit more open-worldy, and they've added to the world exploration portion by way of parkour abilities and even flying. Every single part of the game I've seen so far, aside from the endgame loop and monetization, has been improved. The combat, dungeon designs, housing, guild systems, social systems, cosmetics, all just a lot better. What about the endgame and monetization, you ask? Well, I honestly don't know yet because I haven't reached that part of the game. I'm yet to hit the real endgame, so I can't form an opinion on it yet. And the monetization seems to be better than the original Blue Protocol, but I need to get a better feel for the endgame progression speed to be able to have a better grasp. There is absolutely pay to win that exists in the game, like pretty much all MMOs these days, but it doesn't seem terrible from what I can see so far. Despite making the game feel a bit more Genshin-like, the game still does preserve its MMO identity. Maybe not to a large, huge scale as some would hope for, but I would describe it as an anime MMO with a light touch of Genshin-like elements to it. Let me be clear here, the game is not Genshin and not even close to being a Genshin clone. As someone who is not heavily invested in the Chinese gacha games, I personally just categorize all of them as Genshin-like, and I feel a flare of that in Blue Protocol Star Resonance. All in all, I gotta give it to Tencent. The game is absolutely better in almost every way I've seen so far. This one, assuming the monetization is what it seems, is gonna come down to the endgame content and loop. Hold! We're in! Oh, what is this? Okay. Hey! I was in! I'm in again. I need a girl. 1, 2, 3. Oh! I had a boom slayer! It was there! I had it! Oh no! Oh wait! Where's my class? No! I don't know where it is! I don't know where. Blue Protocol, we are back. There are a lot of cutscenes. Holy. Out the gate, this looks and feels and performs better than the original. This does look a little crisper than the original version, but the biggest thing I notice is the frames, the performance. I do notice though, the running feels way slower though. Like even the sprinting feels slower. I wonder if the dodging animations are different. So if I just hit right mouse button, standing still, it's a dodge roll. But when I use it moving, it's just a dash. Movement feels smooth but heavy. Oh, let's look at these costumes. Oh yeah, dude. The Chinese, they know how to do costumes way better than the Japanese, I'm convinced. This is immediately better than everything that was in Blue Protocol forever. What is this? I don't know, but I like it. Oh, we definitely picked the right classes. Hail. Damn, there's a lot of costumes, man. I mean, a lot of these look pretty good. Holy shit. So this is wardrobe, right? I don't have any. Oh, wait, I do have a costume. Look. Okay, there it is. Boom. What am I doing here? Oh, shit, I can hit this thing. Wait. How does this work? R? Okay, the combat feels pretty good. That is a sick ability. How come it's on such low cooldown? There's gotta be something to that. That's sick. That's actually sick. Dude, I love this class. 100% love this class. The combat feels like a slower, you know those Chinese Genshin-like games that come out these days? It feels like a budget version of those. It felt good, felt pretty good, but just that short little thing, it did feel pretty good, but I don't think it feels as good as like those Chinese, you know what I'm saying? What is 6? Yeah. Oh, it consumes all of it. I see. That's a perfect dodge. Oh, that did more damage. Bro, the combat, guys, the combat is night and day better. Night and day better compared to the first one. It's not even close. This is way better. And I'm only at level fucking like 1 right now. I can tell you immediately this is way fucking better. Well done, Tencent. Oh, the gacha shop. Shall we take a look, boys? 10%. This is 4%. What is this? Is this amount? The costumes look way better. So far, this game has absolutely gotten better on the surface. The costumes look way better. It's open world, and the combat is infinitely better. But again, the big question, endgame content loop. What the hell was Bandai Namco doing? I do not know what the fuck Bandai was doing, man. This looks like some kind of battle pass or login pass. Here it is. Oh, that is the costume, guys. Now the question is, how good are these, right? I think that's the question. I mean, they look fucking great, but I don't think there's actual power tied to it. I feel like it's just cosmetic, no? Guys, I don't know, man. To be honest, if they're heavily monetizing just the badass looking cosmetic, but there are very clearly other cosmetics that are all really good too that are available in the game, and the thing that they're heavily monetizing is this, and it doesn't have any stats, it's just purely cosmetic, guys, that's not bad. It's not pay to win, it's pay to pretty. Yeah, it kind of seems like that. Yeah. Oh, look at this. This mount is badass. This is really cool. World looks good though. The graphics do look good. Look at this world, guys. Look at this. Wait, was there a loading screen coming here from that city? I think there was, right? So it's not completely open world, as you can see here. There are some loading, but it's definitely way bigger than the original version. What the hell is this? Grants 1 extra jump in air. Oh, wow. These are like just like, I guess movement masteries? Oh, that feels so good. Triple jump? Let's go. Why are my feet blue? Shall we take a look at the fishing? All right, so let's try this fishing. There it is. All right, we're in. What the hell? Yeah, I gotta hold the button. Oh, right? Oh, there it is. I gotta alternate between... Holy... I gotta alternate between reeling it and adjusting the line so that it's not... We got it. We got to the last line. Bring it in. Bring it in, bitch. Bring it in, bitch. Yeah! Hey! See that? Look at that rainbow fish's hail. Legendary fish of the gods. It's time we do some fucking dungeons, guys. A group dungeon before we move on. It wasn't again. Oh, we're in. You're right. Let's go. Let's go. Our first dungeon. All right. I wonder if we have to clear every room. Look wise, this is very similar to some of the dungeons that were in the original game. Are there DPS meters in this game? All right. We just got pulled to the boss room. What is this? Oh, we're supposed to line that up. My bad, I was a little slow. I was just a little slow. We're supposed to kill the one with the blue barriers? Or do we kill all of them? I guess we kill all. I guess we just kill the one with the blue barriers, huh? What's happening here? He's moving to the side. What are you doing? Uh-oh. Okay, he bounces it. Okay. Oh, to break the shield? Wait, he's taking damage though. Oh, you gotta hit his backside with it. Ah. What's happening here? Shield? We hit the shield? Okay, we just focused on the shield. Gotcha. I wonder if that's lethal. At level, it's probably lethal, I'd imagine. You gotta do this, but we can just kill it, right? Yeah, there we go. Is that the fight? I mean, obviously this was a lot easier because even though we're a man down, we've got a person that's like way over leveled. Yeah, it's probably a lot more challenging. Obviously a lot. I mean, it is for sure a lot more challenging if you're doing it at level, but I'm just like looking at the mechanics of the fight. I'm gonna be honest right now. That fight is definitely better than any fight I've experienced so far in the original Blue Protocol. Yeah, I don't really remember a dungeon where the boss fight was even that good. And that wasn't like god tier, obviously, right? But for a first dungeon, I thought it was pretty good. All right, guys. So let's review. I am currently level 25, pushing levels 26, as you can see below here. In about an hour and 44 minutes, indicated above here, that is going to be the start of day 3. So this is based off of a couple of days of gameplay. This is a very early first impressions / first look, so please take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But a lot of you guys want to hear my thoughts and my thoughts and impressions when it comes to Blue Protocol Star Residence. For those of you who might not be familiar, because I've been hearing this question being asked quite a bit, is Blue Protocol back? I heard they shut it down. Blue Protocol was being run by Bandai Namco in Japan. It came out full launch and the game was shit. On why the game was shit, there's a lot of reasons, but the big thing for me was that the end game content was not fun to do and there's no point in doing it. The end game content was just quite simply very bad. They shut down the server, Tencent picked up the game, and they completely redid the game. And change they have done. This game, compared to the original version, and I put a lot of hours in the original version, the game has transformed tremendously, and compared to the original version, I will say that it is way better. Now, when it comes to the monetization, we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. I don't know. It seems to be better right now. and the end game loop, impossible to tell. I'm not there yet. No one's there yet, right? With that said, I think the biggest standout change is the combat. I actually thought the combat in the original Blue Protocol was one of its stronger suits. The combat just feels a lot quicker, a lot snappier, a lot smoother. Right out the gate, it felt way more in line with those Genshin-like games when it comes to combat, and I think that's a very good thing. To add on to that point, the movement in this game, for whatever reason, it feels like you have a permanent movement speed debuff, and that's something that I didn't really like, and I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by that. It doesn't feel as bad in combat. In fact, I think some people might actually like the fact that the movement speed is a little bit slower in combat, because it actually slows the combat down a little bit. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because the attacks are so much faster, but then when you move, it's like just really slow. Aside from that, the general world, just when you're going out and exploring, it's more open world-y. There's still loading zones, but it's a lot more, there are less loading zones. The regions are a lot bigger. The regions are, I'm pretty sure, the same. It's just loading zones are just like, you know, further out, I guess. Now, rather than per zone, it's per region, I guess, would be maybe a decent way of looking at it. When it comes to the dungeon design, the dungeon that we experience for an early game dungeon, I think it was really good. Way better compared to the original dungeons in the early game dungeons in Blue Protocol. Now, one of the issues that I had one of the many issues with the end game with the original Blue Protocol is part of the end game loop was you would just do the same early game dungeons, one of them literally being the first non-story dungeon, and it would be just scaled up. Super boring, uninspiring. It was a snooze fest. It was just bad. Having to do that as part of the end game loop, I just think that's terrible game design. I don't know what it's going to be like in Star Residence, but the very first dungeon in Star Residence, the design of the dungeon itself, like the infrastructure of it, wasn't anything special, but the fights were actually pretty good. And I would go as far as to say that they were really good for an entry-level first dungeon experience for this game. I'm really curious as to whether the end game will deliver an experience where I am incentivized to continue to progress my character vertically. If I'm not incentivized to gear up, then I'm not going to want to gear up. And the content in which I am participating in is actually fun, right? The actual end game loop content, so like that end game dungeon, those end game raids, that content in and of itself needs to be fun to experience. Everything from what I've experienced, at least in the first 25 levels, screams this game has just improved, and it is night and day better. Anyways, that's gonna close out my first look / first impressions here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Sorry that took so long. Yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video.